That's not even good cubic zirconia, my sister Lauren declared, grabbing my hand under the restaurant's crystal chandelier. Look at how cloudy it is. Did Marcus get this from a mall kiosk? The elderly man approaching our table wasn't mall security. He was Heinrich Zimmerman, the private jeweler who'd just finished the insurance documentation for one of the rarest diamonds in North America. The rehearsal dinner for Lauren's wedding was being held at the Ritz-Carlton in Georgetown, every detail curated to showcase the Palmer family's rise to Washington, D.C. society. As the younger sister who'd married a public school teacher, I'd been relegated to the cousins' table, far enough from the main action to minimize my modest presence. Let me see. Cousin Bethany reached across the centerpiece, her own 2-carat engagement ring catching the light. Oh honey, it's so sweet that Marcus tried. Some men just don't understand jewelry. It's fine, I said quietly, pulling my hand back. Fine. Lauren laughed, her voice carrying across the room. Grace, your standards have dropped even lower than when you married him. At least admit it's fake, so we can help you find something respectable. The color is completely off, Aunt Victoria added, peering through her glasses. Real diamonds don't have that yellow tinge. Well, unless they're those cheap ones from. It's not yellow, Bethany corrected. It's gray. Like dishwater. How much did poor Marcus spend? 200? 3. Probably payment plan, Lauren stage whispered. Teachers don't exactly have jewelry budgets. My phone buzzed with a text from Marcus. Zimmerman is there. Says he needs your signature on the final papers. I started to stand. Sit, Lauren commanded. We're not done helping you. Mom, look at Grace's ring. Doesn't it remind you of that awful CZ Dad bought you as a joke? My mother glided over in her St. John's suit, examining my hand with the expression she reserved for disappointing quarterly reports. Oh, Grace. This is worse than I thought. It's really not. The size alone is ridiculous, she continued. What is this supposed to be, 15 carats? 20? Nobody wears stones this large unless they're genuine. And if this were genuine, she laughed. Well, it would be worth more than your house. Several houses, Victoria corrected. In this market, a real 15-carat diamond would be what, 2 million? 3. More, Lauren said confidently. Harrison's mother has a 10-carat emerald cut that's insured for 4 million. This would be at least 5 if it were real. Which it's not, Bethany added helpfully. The refraction is all wrong. See how the light just dies inside it. I glanced toward the entrance where Heinrich Zimmerman stood patiently, leather portfolio in hand, his expression professionally neutral despite the conversation he could surely hear. Maybe Marcus thought you wouldn't know the difference, Mom suggested with false sympathy. Men assume we can't tell real from fake. Or maybe, Lauren's smile turned sharp. He knew Grace wouldn't care. She's always been less particular about quality. Remember her prom dress from Target? It wasn't from Target, I murmured. Right, sorry. Walmart. Versace, actually. Vintage. But continue. Versace. Lauren rolled her eyes. Grace, stop. We're trying to help you. The first step is admitting you have a problem. And that problem is currently on your finger, masquerading as a diamond. It's not masquerading as anything. Denial, Aunt Victoria diagnosed. Poor thing. Marcus probably told her it was real, and she believed him. That's the saddest part, Bethany agreed. The trusting wife who doesn't know her husband bought her costume jewelry. We should tell her, Lauren decided. About the family jeweler. He could get you something modest but real. Maybe a nice 1-carat solitaire. Half carat, Mom corrected. On their budget. 1/4 carat, Victoria suggested. But excellent quality. Better a small real diamond than a large fake one. Or she could upgrade later, Lauren said magnanimously. When Marcus gets promoted to, what's above teacher? Principal? Department head, I supplied. Right. In maybe 20 years, you could trade up to a full carat. Wouldn't that be nice? Heinrich Zimmerman had moved closer, standing by the bar now, clearly waiting for a break in my humiliation. You know what bothers me most? Lauren continued, warming to her theme. It's the deception. Wearing something this fake, this obvious, it's like lying to everyone who sees it. Embarrassing for the whole family, Mom agreed. What will people think? That Grace married for love? I suggested. That Grace married beneath her, Lauren corrected. And that her husband compounds the insult with cubic zirconia. It's not cubic zirconia. Moissanite then. Even worse. That's what people buy when they can't afford cubic zirconia. It's not moissanite either. Then what? Bethany demanded. Glass? Plastic? Did he get it from a gumball machine? It's a diamond, I said simply. The table erupted in laughter. Grace, honey, Mom patted my hand. We have eyes. That cloudy yellow-gray thing is many things, but diamond isn't one of them. Mr. Zimmerman? I called across the room. I think now would be good. The elderly gentleman approached with the dignity of someone who'd appraised crown jewels. In his 70s, with silver hair and Swiss precision in every movement, he commanded attention without trying. Mrs. Sterling, he said formally, I apologize for interrupting your dinner, but the insurance company needs these signatures tonight. Insurance? Lauren's voice pitched high. For what? For Mrs. Sterling's ring. He placed the leather portfolio on the table. The appraisal documents are complete. This is a joke, Mom said. Someone Grace hired to. Heinrich Zimmerman, he introduced himself. Zimmerman Private Collections. You may know my work from the Smithsonian's Gem Gallery. I curated the Victorian collection. Aunt Victoria Googled rapidly on her phone, then went pale. You're actually Heinrich Zimmerman. Indeed. And this, he gestured to my ring, is actually one of the finest diamonds I've appraised in 40 years. That's impossible, Lauren whispered. Heinrich opened the portfolio, revealing official documents with holographic seals. The Aurora Heart. 15.3 carats of D-color, flawless clarity diamond. Originally cut in 1923 for railway heiress Margaret Sinclair. But it's so cloudy, Bethany protested weakly. That's not cloudiness, Heinrich explained with the patience of someone used to educating novices. That's fluorescence. The Aurora Heart is famous for its rare blue fluorescence that makes it appear to glow from within. Under UV light, it literally illuminates. He produced a small UV flashlight, clicking it on. My ring erupted in ethereal blue light, like captured lightning. The table went silent. The gray undertones you mentioned, he continued, are what we call chameleon characteristics. The stone actually changes color slightly based on lighting conditions. It's one of only 7 diamonds in the world with this property. 7. Mom's voice cracked. In the world. The others are in private collections or museums. This particular stone was thought lost after Margaret Sinclair's death in 1987. Its reappearance is quite significant to the gem community. How? Lauren stared at my ring like it might bite her. How did Marcus? Perhaps Mrs. Sterling should explain, Heinrich suggested gently. All eyes turned to me. Marcus didn't buy it, I said. He inherited it. From his grandmother. The public school teacher inherited a diamond worth. Victoria couldn't finish. $3.2 million, Heinrich supplied. Though that's conservative. At auction, with its provenance, it could fetch significantly more. But Marcus is. Lauren looked lost. He's just a teacher. He's a teacher from one of San Francisco's oldest families, I corrected. His grandmother was Margaret Sinclair. You know, the railway heiress you were just discussing. The Sinclair Railways? Mom gripped her wine glass. The same. Marcus's family founded half the schools in California with their philanthropy. He teaches because he loves it, not because he needs to. But you live so modestly, Bethany protested. That little house in Arlington is a restored 1920s craftsman worth $2 million. We live modestly because we choose to, not because we have to. The insurance documents, Heinrich interrupted politely, sliding papers toward me. Given the ring's value and rarity, the company requires immediate processing. I signed where indicated, aware of my family watching every movement. The policy covers $3.2 million? Lauren asked faintly. That's the base value. With historical significance and rarity factors, total coverage is $4.8 million. Heinrich collected the signed documents. Mrs. Sterling, you should also know several museums have expressed interest in exhibiting the Aurora Heart. The Smithsonian particularly. We're considering it, I said. Marcus likes the idea of sharing it with the public. Of course he does, Mom murmured. Of course the public school teacher wants to donate a $5 million diamond to education. Not donate. Loan. There's a difference. Heinrich closed his portfolio. If you'll excuse me, I need to file these tonight. Mrs. Sterling, a pleasure as always. Mr. Sterling asked me to remind you about Tuesday's appointment regarding the earrings. What earrings? Lauren demanded after he left. The matching Aurora set. Apparently, there are earrings and a necklace in a safety deposit box. We're having them appraised for insurance purposes. A set. Victoria calculated rapidly. That would be worth approximately $12 million total, I supplied. according to Heinrich's preliminary estimates. $12 million in jewelry, Mom repeated slowly. And you let us mock your ring. Call it fake. Compare it to cubic zirconia from mall kiosks. You seem to be enjoying yourselves. Why didn't you tell us? Lauren's voice rose. Why let us humiliate ourselves? I tried. Said it wasn't cubic zirconia. Said it wasn't fake. Said Marcus didn't buy it from a mall. You weren't interested in listening. You could have explained. When? Between the dishwater comparisons and the payment plan jokes? Or during the lecture about my low standards? This is cruel, Bethany decided. You let us make fools of ourselves. You made fools of yourselves. I just wore my ring. Your $3 million ring, Lauren corrected bitterly. Your historically significant, museum-quality, $5 million ring. The value doesn't change what it is, I said. It's still the same ring you called cloudy and gray 5 minutes ago. The same ring that embarrassed you. The same ring that proved I'd married beneath myself. That's different, is it? Because Marcus is still a teacher. I still shop at Target sometimes. We still live in a modest house by choice. Nothing's changed except now you know the ring's value. Everything's changed, Mom said quietly. Marcus is a Sinclair heir. You're wearing the Aurora heart. You're not who we thought you were. I'm exactly who I've always been. You just never looked past your assumptions to see it. How long have you known? Lauren asked. About the ring, the inheritance, all of it? Since our engagement 5 years ago. Marcus proposed with it. Told me the whole family history. 5 years. She looked sick. 5 years of dinners where we pitted you. Mocked your cheap ring. Felt sorry for your poor choices. 5 years of showing me who you really are. What you really value. How you really see people. That's not fair. Isn't it? You spent tonight ranking worth by carat size. Judging Marcus by his salary instead of his character. Measuring my marriage by jewelry appraisals. Now you know the appraisal and suddenly I matter. We're your family, Victoria protested. Of course you matter. Since when? Was it when the UV light revealed the fluorescence? Or when Heinrich said 3 million? Because I've been wearing this ring to every family event for 5 years, and tonight's the first time anyone's shown interest beyond mockery. The rehearsal dinner continued around us, other guests oblivious to our table's shifted dynamics. Tomorrow, Lauren would marry Harrison in a ceremony designed to impress people who measured worth in dollars. She'd wear a 2-carat ring she'd chosen for its ability to photograph well on Instagram. And I'd sit in my assigned seat, wearing the Aurora heart that had survived the Titanic, according to Heinrich, belonged in a museum, according to the Smithsonian, and looked like cubic zirconia from a mall kiosk, according to my family. Grace, Mom tried again. How can we fix this? You can't. You can't unknown what you know, unfeel what you felt, or unsay what you said. All you can do is sit with the knowledge that you mocked a Sinclair heiress wearing one of America's most significant diamonds because you couldn't see past your own prejudices. So you'll punish us forever? I'm not punishing anyone. I'm just done pretending your approval matters. Done defending my choices to people who judge by appearance. Done apologizing for marrying a teacher who happens to descend from railway tycoons. My phone buzzed. Marcus texting. How bad was the reveal? I typed back. Spectacular. Heinrich has perfect timing. Want me to pick you up? Please. The earrings, Lauren said suddenly. Will you wear them to my wedding? I looked at my sister. Really looked at her. The careful makeup, the designer dress, the desperate need to impress everyone but the people who mattered. No, I said simply. The Aurora set belongs in museums or safety deposit boxes. Not at weddings where people measure love by market value. But think of the photos. I am. $12 million of jewelry in wedding photos? That's not a celebration, it's a catalog. You're being spiteful. I'm being honest. You want me to wear the earrings so you can tell people your sister wore 15 million in jewels to your wedding. It's not about me or Marcus or family. It's about impressing strangers. That's not. Lauren, you literally called my ring fake an hour ago. Now you want to use it as a prop. See the issue? Marcus texted. Outside when you're ready. I stood, gathering my purse. Enjoy the rest of your rehearsal. The wedding tomorrow will be beautiful, I'm sure. Where are you going? Home. To my modest house with my teacher husband and my embarrassing ring that glows blue under UV light. Grace, please. Good night. I left them calculating, not the cost of their assumptions or the price of their snobbery, but the value of what they'd missed. 15 million in jewelry. railway fortune inheritances, museum exhibitions. Everything except what actually mattered. Outside, Marcus waited in our sensible Subaru, grading papers in the passenger seat. He looked up as I climbed in, marking his place with a finger. How'd it go? They know about the Aurora heart. Heinrich was very thorough. And now they want to borrow the earrings for Instagram photos. He laughed, the sound warm and real. Of course they do. Pizza on the way home. Definitely. As we drove away from the Ritz-Carlton, my ring caught the streetlight and erupted in blue fire. The Aurora heart, doing what it did best, revealing its true nature only under the right conditions. My family had needed UV light and insurance appraisals to see what had been there all along. But then again, they'd always needed external validation to recognize value. That's why they'd never understood that Marcus's worth had nothing to do with his inheritance, and everything to do with the way he saw beauty where others saw only clouds. Even in a ring they'd sworn was cubic zirconia. Especially in a woman they'd sworn had settled for less.